It's Mouse Guard! Hello! We're back! Hi guys, we're in the midst of a cataclysmic evening. Do you know why? Because we have the most wonderful players here tonight to give you a fantastic look into the wonderful role-playing game known as Mouse Guard. We have Pepperjack, Ellie, the wondrous and loud Tilly Anherd, as well as our newest guards mouse, Idra. And I think what we'll do is just go ahead and jump right into it. If you don't know what we're doing here, this is our Mouse Guard community West Marches game. We call it the Eastern Marches, particularly because it takes place all the way over here to the east instead of the west. You see what I did there? Anyways. This is a game that is all based on these wonderful comics by David Peterson, in which small little mice build up a medieval society, and unfortunately, they have to contend with the fact that they're still the bottom of the food chain. But thankfully, they can use their wits, their courage, and the steel that gives them some bite in order to fight back against not only the predators that are quite numerous, to say the least.
You guys are my best friends.
But not only that, you also have to imagine how difficult it is for a mouse to survive in, like, when winter comes around, or when rain starts to pitter-patter onto the dirt. Towns can get flooded, plague can spread, and there's only one thing standing in the way of total disaster in the mouse territories, and that is the Mouse Guard, a fantastic array of loyal mice using knowledge, sword, and shield to protect all of the things they cherish. So let's go ahead and just go ahead and introduce each other, or introduce. You guys know what to do. So let's go ahead and start with. Yeah, we'll go with Pepperjack. You're a seasoned guy, so I think we can start with you if you'd like. Go ahead and tell us who Pepperjack is, some of your accomplishments in Tapper's Point, and lead us in.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm Vincent Cross. I'm playing Pepperjack, and I'm a patrol guard. I've been here at Tapper's Point for a little bit now. We've managed to do a lot of stuff, from wrangling beetles to making deals with crows and weasels, and now things are getting very political, and Pepperjack is mainly a scout, so he doesn't know quite how to handle this political world of stuff that's starting to come up at Tapper's Point. So he's just trying to do the best he can, and I guess put people who are probably better than he is in that area, in the positions that they need to be in, and so that Tapper's Point can actually flourish and not become some terrible just mistake.
That's a loaded answer, sir. What's your cloak color and your fur color, and what weapon, if you have any?
Yes, I'm a tiny gray and white mouse. A gray little coat with a white underbelly. I have a little wine-colored cloak with that's lined with fox fur around the collar, and the very axe that he uses to cut and chop down wood with for all his carpentry, he uses it as his main weapon.
Impressive. Let's move over just a little bit to the right to Miss Ellie. Go ahead and tell us about this. How would you describe her? I won't take the liberty away from you.
So, I'm Ayami 302. I play Ellie. She's a scientist. She basically, is a kind of like a neutral colored mouse. So think of like browns, grays, reds, kind of like earthy tones, but with like streaks of blonde in her as well. And she's kind of done pretty much most of the same things as, Pepperjack. Those two have kind of been inseparable for a while now. She actually, for those of you who don't know, she actually created she tried to create, didn't go so well, but she tried to create semi-bionic arm for Pepperjack because he kind of lost it to a fox that we fought. It was pretty bad.
I think it actually did go well. It's just
well, it did,
happen.
but then it got used for ant food. So yeah, that it kind of worked out, but it kind of didn't. But either way, she did that. So, and she's just kind of like trying to help everybody out. She's kind of in the same boat as he is. She's not very political. So she's more analytical, not political. But she basically just like wants to stay far away from that. She doesn't know about politics and she'd rather not get into it. But yeah, she has a spear as weapon. But yeah, that's basically Ellie.
Wonderful. And I'm noticing a trend. Let's put an end to that with the Tenderpaw. I think the only Tenderpaw in Tapper's Point, maybe?
Correct.
Oh!
The resident runt.
Give us the lowdown on Tilly Andherd.
Tilly, I don't know what to do with this kid. She's very small and very loud, and she is a trainee apprenticed to Pepperjack, whom she likes a lot because he doesn't yell at her. And let's see. Yeah, basically her thing is that she just gets into trouble. Things tend to go wrong around her, partly because she's a little too curious for her own good and puts her nose in places where it doesn't belong. But the good thing about having her around is that she is, I think, still the highest healer at Tapper's Point. Like, she knows how to patch people together after bad things happen. So, there are some benefits to having this kid around. And I think that pretty much sums her up.
It is a concise summarization. Thank you, Grinny, for that host. We really appreciate it, yo. And I think from there, let's go on and bring in the long-anticipated Gibbs with your mouse, Idra. Would you?
Hi,
Oh, come on!
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Would you honor us with a little introduction to this wonderful, brave little girl?
Hi, I'm Gibbs. My character's name is Ida. She is a newcomer to Tapper's Point. She's very shy, she does not know how to talk well with other mice. She's learning though. She finds other ways of communicating with them through kind of meaningful gestures. I don't know what else to say about her.
You could start with the belief, maybe. That's always a good point.
She wants to make a name for herself in the Mice Guard, the Mouse Guard. She grew up as the middle child and always felt invisible, and being in the Mouse Guard, making a name for herself is kind of a way of proving that she is not invisible. She is in fact a hero in her own mind.
Well, let's see if you can make that a reality, rather than just in her very powerful brain. Anyways, let's get our usual tunes on as we get into this session of the Mouse Guard, the Eastern Marches.
Do you want me to describe my mouse or no?
Oh goodness, that's right. I jumped ahead once again, Gibbs. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What's she look like?
She is a black mouse with a white belly, similar to a penguin. She has a light blue cloak on. And she has a bow. She uses a bow.
That's right. You were able to use that last session, I think.
I think I forgot to mention the cloak that I was wearing.
Oh, gracious. What
Yeah.
cloak? I think yours is... There's so many
It's-
cloaks, I'm sorry.
It's also blue, but it actually has, it's lined, I think, at the bottom with fox fur because Pepperjack gave half of it
That's right.
to Ellie when he basically skinned it alive.
And we know not to ask Tilly for her cloak color because you're Tenderpaw. You haven't earned your cloak yet.
I'd mess.
You are garbed in muck and mud. That is your honor as a guards mouse. Tilly entered. We'll get to her. I love you. Anyways, we are going to zoom in to this spot on the territories where once there was a small outpost, but over the course of spring and the majority of summer, it has flourished into what could be the trappings of a significant town in the making. And for everyone here, you've seen it grow. You've seen it go through various transformations and struggles. Some of you have sacrificed a little bit more than others. But Idra, this is still new to you. You are one of the new faces here, and as such, what do you think you would do to sort of familiarize yourself with some of the mice here after your harrowing mission at the grind mill?
Idra is going to just sort of walk around, not really, just like kind of analyze the people, not really talk with them, just kind of see how they live their lives.
All right. So you get the sense that most of the mice here who are not guards mice, and it's very clear to see because all guards mice wear special cloaks. The guards mice who are here are either idly living out some leisurely lives, but others are sort of in the process of helping the townsfolk with various tasks. You do know that there are some that go on missions from Quincy or Guard Captain Arabelle, and you're still not sure who you really report to. You remember Gwendolyn sort of said Guard Captain Arabelle is the one you report to, but everybody here just sort of seems to have an eye for Quincy, or rather, Quincy told me to do this, or I have to ensure that this gets done next time I see him. But you also notice that there are the two mice in front of the Tapper's Point entrance. They're garbed in, heavy armor, like hard steel, with helmets and visors that go down. I'm gonna say you have been, you know them a little bit. I'm trying to give you enough time to hold yourself in, Ayami, before this happens. You know one of them as Blaze, and the other as Seabury. These two are the sort of the watchers of the front gate, and I get the sense that Blaze would sort of notice that you're wandering around, and he goes, "What you doing there, little one?"
I'm just kind of walking around, just kind of getting a feel of the place.
Oh,
how are
great.
you today?
Oh, that's not hard at all.
Okay,
And you see Seabury sort of just like slowly like looks over, just trying to. She starts shaking her head to you like no. But Blaze continues and says, "Well, I do hope you're enjoying your time here. It's coming along real nice."
I can see that. It's very lovely here.
Well, it is. Hey, listen. And then, unfortunately, at that point, Pepperjack, you have to come in and retrieve Miss Idra because you have been told by Guard Captain Arabelle that you must. She is needed for your patrol.
Can Ellie be tagging along behind him?
Probably, yeah.
I just walk up, like, hey, are you Idra?
Yes, I'm Idra.
Hi, I'm Pepperjack.
Hi.
I'm Ellie.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
What are we supposed to do?
We're supposed to bring her to Arabelle.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta report to us.
You're supposed to
Captain
supposed to remember this.
I haven't eaten today yet. I'm sorry. I get a little forgetful.
Here, she's gonna hand out because I think she still has some snacks on her.
Yeah, you totally do.
Yeah, she's gonna hand him some snacks. She's like, "Here, eat this."
Ooh.
Alrighty, and you hear another ooh. Well, aren't you the most lovely thing I've seen this morning, Miss Ellie? And what tasty grub you got there? Can I have some?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Pepperjack. You're pretty. You're like daylight in the middle of July. Thank you.
Hey, that's pretty good. I
That's
like
a weird phrase, but I guess it works.
It only works with blonde mice. I don't have one for, you know. You're like starlight on midnight.
I appreciate the compliment, please.
That's a pretty good compliment.
Oh,
If it is a compliment at all. I'm not sure.
Well, it's all. Well, no, it's only a compliment if it makes them feel good. Felt good, did it, Pepperjack?
I feel great.
That's great.
Thanks.
You seen Tilly around?
I think she's somewhere in.
Start
in
looking around.
Cyberpunk.
Where the
No,
hell
where
are
is
you, Tilly? Because I never know. I will never know where you are.
I'm about to blow your mind. You want to know where Tilly is? Tilly's standing outside the office on time. Oh my god!
What is this? What is this sorcery you speak of
What
right
has
now?
happened?
It's the
Prepare
apocalypse, guys,
yourself.
because Tilly's never on time.
Well, bless my super dangerous halberd. That is excellence right there. Pepperjack, you gotta give her a cloak or something if she keeps this up.
Yeah. I definitely want to. I think she's ready. Don't tell her yet.
Don't, you can't do that. That's getting her hopes up. You gotta get the report to Gwendolyn, you know that.
I will.
Well, be nice
Hey,
to
I mean, there's no
Arabelle.
harm in getting her hopes up.
I mean, yeah, Pepperjack, the least you can do is just keep doing what you're doing. Make her smile and stuff and, you know, do be good. Miss
Hey,
Idra,
snake smiling.
Miss Idra, it was awful nice meeting you. I hope you take care.
It was nice meeting you too. Take care.
And
All right.
if you get back, I don't know how to shoot a bow and arrow. Can you show me when you get back?
I just look at her like from behind him, going,
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, you go along now. It's great meeting you.
"Bye, Blaze."
Now, y'all have a good time in Tapper's Point.
Bye, Blake.
All right, so you go up to see Tilly, I guess.
Yes. Head on up there.
Oh boy, you turn a corner, and standing outside the door to Arabelle's office, not having gone in yet, stands this like really short little brown fur, who is normally extremely scruffy and covered in all kinds of dirt and detritus. But she stands there looking like she just like brushed and had a bath. And she's like clean and kempt looking. And like her little tender paws cloak looks freshly laundered and pressed. And she's standing there with like practicing good posture because she hasn't noticed you. And then she like sees you out of the corner of her eye and like jolts. And she's like, "Oh, hi, Pepperjack. Oh, hello. Hi, Ellie. Oh, and who's hi, person."
And Ellie just kind of like rubs her eyes and like looks at her again. She goes,
Pepperjack's just eyes are just all big,
Yeah.
and he's just looking
she
at
goes,
her, and then like
yeah.
a single tear starts to come down because he's so happy.
Tilly,
And Allie goes,
exaggeratedly crisp salute.
yeah, and Allie goes,
It gives her
Okay.
crisp salute right back.
"Who are you, and what have you done with the real Tilly?"
I am the Rat King in disguise, and I've abducted Tilly, and I'm here to take over. No, I'm just. Hello.
Why are you all cleaned up? This isn't like you. And you're on time for once. I'm very confused.
I know, so am I. Nothing has gone wrong today. I'm a little suspicious. And you
Yeah.
notice that she's like trying to clip her accent a bit as well, because remember she's got this kind of like indeterminate British Isles brogue thing going on, and she's trying to get down.
I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy, and he just hugs her. I'm just so
Ellie like looks at them, and she kind of like gives them the suspicious look because she's getting a little jealous.
Tilly is getting a hug and clearly has no idea what to do with this information. So she's just kind of like standing there bug-eyed.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
and,
making
like,
me so
you know,
proud.
Yeah, and Ellie's just like standing there,
Okay,
like,
let's
you know,
go in the
like, how
office.
come I don't get a hug? You know, like she kind of almost.
I'm so sad. Does Idra get a hug too?
No.
Adra wouldn't know. Adra wouldn't know what to do if she got a hug.
Oh no.
But Pepperjack goes, oh my goodness, you've come a long way. I'm just so
I'll
proud.
say.
All right, let's go in and talk to Guard Captain Arabelle.
You go
She's
inside.
expecting.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Follows
Just
them
coming to the
inside,
door and
looking
knocks
completely
the
flummoxed.
Okay, so here's what happens. You go inside. You see there is in this office Guard Captain Arabelle in her usual spot. Just sort of spread across her desk are several sealed envelopes, as well as Patrol Leader Quincy, who is leaning on the other side of it. And he appears to be sealing some of them as well. But you also see a third mouse inside this office. He is already seated. He is a tall gray mouse, wearing this very. It's almost like a. It's not yellow. It's like a butter-colored cloak. And he sort of is just observing, but gives you all a broad smile once you enter. Guard Captain Arabelle notes all of you with a nod and says, "Please have a seat." And she looks over to you, Idra, and says, "How are you doing? Are you fitting in?"
I'm doing my best. Thank you.
I need you to keep doing that for this next mission. Can you?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. Since we have lots of correspondence now with the territories and the various towns there, it leaves us open to performing a patrol's finest duty: mail delivery. I need the 5 of you to please go town to town and ensure that this stack of mail gets delivered.
Okay.
Ellie looks around and she goes, "Wait,
You
I have a
guys are my best friends.
What was that? I unfortunately had a host, and it was like, "You guys are my
I thought
best
you were waving at
friends."
me. I was like, what is he doing?
Dude,
I was so
1066.
confused.
No, I was just
I was
like,
like,
He's performing the dance of his people.
you gotta remember, I gotta, when that opossum comes on the screen, I gotta. But
No, it's
what
fine,
did she say?
Ellie looks around, she goes, 5 of us?
She nods over to the 5th mouse and says, "This is Tamarick Butternut, patrol guard. He has not had much presence in Tapas." Excuse me.
Don't die for her, we need you.
Arabelle's been yelling at too many people.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's Quincy's here. She's been yelling at him apparently. No. She says, he's a patrol guard who's been here for quite some time, and he hasn't had much presence in Tapper's Point. He's been on the matriarch's orders for a while now, but now he's returning. And he selected all of you, or rather suggested you all to be the mice for this mission.
That was a pleasure.
Okay.
Do you have anything to add, Patrol Leader Quincy? And he sort of looks up, gives you all a wave, and says, well, I hope you like what you come back to.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. It's just going to be another step in the direction of progress for Tapper's Point.
Well, progress is a good thing. That's why we're here.
Indeed. So make sure that mail gets delivered, please. I would be greatly appreciated. And Tamrick sort of like shuffles a bit and says, well, anybody have any questions? Anything like that before we head out?
Yeah, which places are we actually going first?
Well, we're going to make a stop over by Wolf Point. Not a lot of mail there, but still it has to be delivered. We have to make our way around to Grass Lake. It will probably take a boat to Lone Pine. By then, when we get to Lone Pine, we should meet up with another patrol. But we're also going to be picking up a few stragglers once we get to Lone Pine. A couple carpenters by request of Quincy here. Quincy gives us a nod again and says, yes, yes. And the guard captain Arabelle...
Sounds fishy.
Guard Captain Arabelle sort of like closes her eyes a moment. And Quincy has a sudden flash of inspiration. He says, the Barrow brothers.
You guys are my best friends.
Ishmael, thank you, buddy. He says in this like hollow voice, the Barrow brothers.
What?
Legendary carpentry. It's gonna be one of the foundations of Tapper's Point commerce. Everybody will want a pine chair on this end
She
of the
turns.
territory.
She turns to Pepperjack and she goes, "Have you heard of these guys?"
Are you a carpenter?
I am, yeah.
Ah, then you have. So,
Mhm.
Lone Pine is kind of known for its furniture. It has a very luxurious brand of pine wood. But it doesn't have many competitors. The fact that Quincy seems to have been able to snag a couple of its carpenters might spell some sound industry for Tapper's Point.
I just turn to Ellie and I go, yeah, they're pretty good carpenters, but mostly furniture and stuff like that.
So why would we need furniture for Tapper's Point?
Well, I have to refurnish my office. He says
That's why you're bringing them in.
with the most serious look on his face. And
That's why you're bringing them in.
Arabelle says, you commissioned them. And that office is going to be the mayor's office, so I'm going to need you to move out. And Quincy rolls his eyes and says, well, I like it the way it is. For now.
Well,
Tilly's kind of sitting in the back and her ears are swiveling and she's got this look on her face like she's thinking, oh my god, this is so awkward, are we done yet?
Yeah.
Pepperjack's kind of just looking at Arabelle and looking at Quincy and just looking at Arabelle and Quincy again. And I kind of look over at Tamrick and just kind of like to break the ice of this awkwardness. And I go, so should we get going?
I mean,
Tamrick?
Well, we just need to figure out who's going to carry the bag.
Me! Tilly's paw shoots up.
Her.
Tilly's really strong, so yeah.
Or
Tilly flexes her tiny guns.
so you are going to give a labor check very soon.
Oh, what check?
Labor.
Oh yeah.
The magic skill.
The
It-
skill that Four hates so much.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. So that's your mission. Give me goals. And if you want Gibbs, this goal can be accomplished in the Game Master's turn, which is what we're starting, or the player's turn, which will happen afterwards. But yeah, go ahead and take a moment to talk about the mission or anything else that you might have on your mind.
So is that gonna be our, what is it, goal?
It seems pretty straightforward, which means that chances are everything is going to go horribly wrong. So,
Mhm.
I think my goal is going to be. Yeah.
My goal is keep Pepperjack safe and deliver the mail successfully.
Oh, you're taking that one? Cool. I will do a different one then.
Everyone,
What was your goal?
everyone writes down, deliver the mail.
Literally, my goal was gonna be keep Pepperjack safe, but no, like if you're doing that, I will do.
I mean, you can have the same goal too.
Screw the mail. I have
I mean,
Pepperjack.
it's kind of obvious that Ellie won't let Pepperjack out of her sight. So I mean,
Yeah, so like I think Ellie's got that covered, and Tilly would probably pick up on that at some point. So I think my goal is going to be to like impress Pepperjack or make Pepperjack proud or something like that.
I feel like you've already done that, but you could totally do that further.
She's gonna want to do it again!
He's so proud already. There's
is
nowhere
why-
to go.
This is why I love playing with you too, Noodle.
Aw,
You're muted, Pepperjack. Try again.
No, actually
Oh,
muted
no.
on Zoom.
Yep, there we go. It's that button. I knew it.
It's
Okay.
one of the buttons.
So Pepperjack's goal is basically to write a letter to Gwendolyn so that Tilly can become a full mouse guard.
Oh my
Or
god!
guard mouse.
Okay, so
That's his goal.
here's what you're gonna have to do. That will require either an administrator or archivist check. But you know for certain that Tenderpaws don't get to become fully fledged guards mice until winter. They have to return to Lockhaven to do that. But you can start the cogs. So she could be approved early,
Yes,
depending on how well
that's his goal.
you write it. Okay.
Does he have to roll for that?
No, just to sort of like word it correctly and also sort of make it so that it makes her sound like she's pronto goodo. Gibbs, what would your goal be for this session?
To try and get to know the other guards mice better.
All right. So, let's start the session with all of you leaving Tapper's Point. Do you do anything before you leave?
I guess I could ask Mikhail to see if he can provide some extra road snacks, maybe.
All right. He's actually rather busy. He has
I have
two.
snacks.
He has two families currently in his midst. The Oatmotes, who are a recent addition, and it seems that some of the wilt flowers have come by to sort of just like get a familiarity with Tapper's Point. Irdra, you can see some of the children see you, and they suddenly surround you, and just sort of start asking you questions. They start peppering you with them.
Oh.
Are these the ones from mine went blank on what I was going to say? Hate when that happens. Are these the little kids from the last game or no?
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
Hi, little ones. How are y'all doing today?
We're great. We're great. This place is so cool. It's in a tree.
Do you still have that cloak that I gave you?
Yeah, I do. And one of them sort of says, "Hey, it's my turn to wear it. You have to take turns. That's what Mom said."
Aw.
And then one of them says, well, my mom said that I have to wear the cloak until we get back. She says, but she's my mom, and she said we had to take turns. And they just start getting into this very slow but like fierce argument.
Oh no.
Kids, it's okay. It's okay. Your brother's right. Take turns. That's always been a nice thing. That's the right thing to do. You need to take turns.
And then you're interrupted by a loud voice saying, "All right, piping hot, come and get him." And there's this mouse with an apron, sort of carrying a pan with these big oven mitts, and he's sort of bringing it out into the cafeteria area, which is where you're at. You're in this like big cafeteria of Tapper's Point, and you see this red-furred mouse carrying some sort of steaming pie. But they're very tiny, and he sort of sets them out and says, no, and he sort of like pulls his hands up to all of the children. There are like 3, I believe there are 3. Yeah, there's 3 other kids here. They're a little bit older than the little ones you know, but they all sort of pile around. It's like, ha, no, hey, I said piping hot. I didn't say eat them right now. I said piping hot. And he sort of like starts to pinprick the center of the pies, just to let some steam out. And he looks up and he sees, Pepperjack, Ellie, Tilly. It looks like
Hi. Hello, Mikhail.
it looks like you can actually eat here for once. You want to sit down?
Tilly like giggles and sits.
It's been a while since we've seen you, Mikhail. How are you doing?
I'm busy. I'm making meals for. I mean, look at this. These
A lot
monsters.
of people.
As he
Well,
gestures.
hey, I mean, think about it. When you first started out, you barely had anybody to cook for, so...
Oh yeah, but that was also I had more time to experiment. Now I gotta feed these.
What better way to test your experiments out than on little kids? They'll eat anything.
Well, that's true, but the fact that they eat anything means they can't tell me if it's good or not. I'm not cooking for any. I don't cook for just the.
I can.
You can. How about this?
I mean, I can try too.
And
but...
he'll go ahead and give you Pepperjack some Gabcroon, and he says, "I was able to get a hold of some cranberries. You should try to tell me if they work or not."
Got it.
All right.
And Ida steps up. She's like, well, actually, kids are actually the most pickiest. If they enjoy it, they like it, you know it's good.
Oh, really?
She knows that for, yeah, I had little siblings growing up. And
Ooh. I'll be honest. I don't know any kids. In my entire life, I've stayed at Tapper's Point, and only kids I know are the ones that were growing up with me. This is a whole new experience.
I'm kind of in the same boat. The only person I know is my sister, and she's older than I am, so...
Well, I guess that's what the mouse guard is for. We got all kinds of mice from the territories. So, thank you. I don't know your name.
my name's Ida.
Well, you come in here and you can have any pickled grasshopper antennae you want. Because I learned how to pickle.
And it's fantastic. And he leans over to eat because it's fantastic.
Ellie rolls her eyes, and she's like, oh boy.
Alright. You guys be safe out there, alright?
We'll do.
Take care of yourself too,
If I find an
Mikhail.
ingredient or something out there, I'll try and bring it back for you.
I need smiles. And I need, bodies with those smiles. I mean, I was trying to say still be safe, but it came out a little weird.
Hey, it works.
Well, it works. Keep your whiskers dry, alright?
You got it. Thanks, Mikhail.
Just
I
another
just
little
eat some
tip.
of the cranberries. Ooh. Just walking.
Just another
Discreetly
little
knocks
tip.
on wood. Oh, sorry, go
If
ahead.
you keep them running around, keep them moving, they'll tire out faster.
I should hide the pies.
At the mention of keeping one's whiskers dry and staying out of trouble, Tilly discreetly knocks on wood for good luck.
Nice. Nice. And that is when you guys depart and it starts to rain.
Of course.
Tilly, because you are carrying the mail, I need you to make a labor check really quick. The rain is going to be a factor, so guess what? It's going to be obstacle 3.
Oh boy. Let's see. What's my laborer? Oh, laborer 2. Can I get any helping dice?
Yes. Pepperjack is going to use his carpentry to basically chop down like a nice leaf so that she could use like as an umbrella to cover the
Ooh.
That
or
sounds,
maybe a nice mushroom.
that sounds like survivalist rather than
I'll
carpenter.
do that. I could probably.
Oh, I could do survivalist.
I have an idea for a carpenter. Like, if you want to help with carpenter, maybe he could like make a little makeshift. What do you call them? Not like a sled, like a thing that you drag behind you so that you're not carrying
Toboggan?
the entire weight. Yeah.
A little toboggan.
I can make a. She has weaver. She can weave some stuff and to make it to where it carries. She's not having to carry the load like either. If it's in a little thing, it can keep the mail inside.
And I can use survivalist to like find like leaves to make sure that the mail stays dry.
Nice. So, what do you got so far, Tilly?
That's 2 plus I think 3 helping dice.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I can do that. Let's see, that's 5 for an obstacle 3. Let's see.
Don't forget about traits, for or against.
Oh. I think it's like that. Do I have any points? If I did, which kind of point is it where you like add 1 point and it adds 1 dice to your roll?
Persona.
Okay, I will add 1 persona point.
Okay.
And let's see, that brings it up to 6. Let's do it. Oh!
Wow.
Whoa.
Buff.
Tilly.
Billy's
Dang.
in a good mood today.
Dude, I guess
She
that
woke
cleaning
up on the right side of the bed.
She legit like that cleaning did wonders for her. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. It's amazing what happens when you look after your hygiene and don't get in trouble.
Look at that. Clean off all the dung off yourself, and then you're just amazing.
Oh my god.
I'm so proud of you. Okay. So, you guys are going to start making the journey. Tilly, the mud and the weight of the letters that you are having to deliver are harrowing. But you steel yourself, and with a bit of ingenuity, you're able to go ahead and get this all set. You notice all of you sort of get a thumbs up from Tamrick Butternut as he sort of, gets his little hood over his big ears, and he says, "This is very nice. Very nice thought. Have you all been working together like this for long? Seems like it."
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had to be resourceful out here.
I can imagine. Out on the wild country. Very harrowing.
And
Ah.
scary.
Just gotta look at my missing arm. I go, yep.
Ellie frowns, and you can just see like the worry that's in her like eyes.
That's the sort of attitude that makes him a guard's mouse. A patrol guard.
That's it.
Oh, but wait, you're already a patrol guard, aren't you?
I am.
We'll see about that. Alright, let's get going. And, yeah, you guys just need to make a Pathfinder check to get to all these towns. So this is gonna be Pathfinder 6.
Jeez.
Who's got the highest one?
Not me.
I got a 3.
Okay, let me take a look.
Pepperjack, don't you have Pathfinder?
Gibbs, this is a Pathfinder check, so you'd be using your Pathfinder skill.
I have Pathfinder 5.
Dang, girl.
Oh,
It's her.
dude.
What the heck?
It's her.
Awesome.
Okay.
Pepperjack goes, I think it's. Oh, never mind.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So I just.
oh, go ahead. Yeah, you would have your Pathfinder 5. Now you have to garner helping dice. So, how can your patrol mates help you? What are you guys gonna do to help this wonderful mouse who knows all the roads, even when it's raining and pouring horribly?
Well, I can still help her with Pathfinder, right?
Yes, but now we need different skills for the rest of you.
Tilly has Scout.
All right,
That work?
Pepperjack.
Pepperjack also has a very high scout, but he'll instead use his weather watcher to kind of keep a lookout to see if there's like breaks in the rain and things of that nature.
That's a good one.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
I allow that as well. So, you have 8 dice now. Do you have any traits you think that would help you as well?
Sharp eye. Sharp eye.
Yeah, I like that. So I think you have 9 dice total to get an obstacle
What was it?
6.
Sharp eyed.
She's using those to find. It's like I imagine she's walking. She's just walking down the road until there's no road left, and yet she's still just like pushing through in this line. You can see the small details as they're washed away, while the others are just sort of like, where are we going? I don't know. Follow her. So.
How are you doing this before I even roll?
I mean, we're gonna find out what happens when we get to the first town. So, give me that Pathfinder roll, 9 dice.
What?
Oh yeah, do you remember how to do that?
Nope.
All right, so I'm gonna show you the copy and paste. Just copy the /R d6 and put 9 dice in front of the d6. Oh no.
Do you have any wises that can help you?
I have Predator Wise.
You can also use persona points or fate
Yeah,
points to
I was-
roll.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you can only do that with a
Is it- I couldn't-
wise that is like able to
Ah.
work into the test.
I think.
Here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll do. I will allow you to use Predator Wise to re-roll some of your failures. However, that will mean something about this test is going to relate to a predator. That is going to change the twist.
Do it.
Just go for it. I mean,
Or you can just say I failed. Let's just go like with the regular twist.
I'll re-roll.
Okay.
Re-roll. I can't say ours.
All right. So here's what you can do. You can spend a fate point to reroll 1 failed dice, or you can spend a persona point to reroll all failed dice. Which one do you want to spend?
I'll spend a persona point.
Okay. So you're rolling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice.
5. Okay. Oh, that's not 5 later. 2 successes.
Hey.
Okay.
Left.
This, however, does change the nature of the test a little bit, okay? So, you are going to be traveling from Tapper's Point to Wolf Point. And then you snake your way down to Grass Lake. By the way, we're going to sort of gleam over the details of what happens in each town. You deliver the mail to a head figure. Sometimes it's the chief. Like in Wolf Point, you go into the underground hillside where Wolf Point lies, and the rough nature of these mice, mice who used to live on the frontier and were known for their rather, how to put it, odd, wild ways, are sort of now realizing we're going to become like a hub, almost, now that we're in proximity of this place. So they readily accept your letters. Not a lot of letters here, about 2 to 3 that are from Port Sumac that are now being delivered down. You also noticed Tamric stops to sort of chat with the chief as well, with some private words, and then you move on. It's still raining. It took about a day to get here, so now you set off on your second day to Grass Lake, and again, it's another time where things are a little odd, just because you're starting to notice things, Idra. There's something very odd happening as you go down the road. You keep seeing signs that something pushed through this thicket and some of the brambles nearby. And you also notice that it's getting harder to find the roads as well. Not just that the roads were washed away. You get the sense that despite it being summer, the roads are harder to follow. It's almost as though some of the roads are either blanketed or obscured or sort of
Destroyed. Corrupted.
More like those are like powerful versions of what I'm trying to describe. I just can't find the word for it. It's
Non-existent.
not non-existent. They were there, but they are they've been worn away. That's it. They've been worn away by something. And as you're moving along, you see that there are a lot of prints. Particularly a lot of mouse prints. But there does also appear to be what looks like a weasel print here and there. Because if you're predator-wise, you've seen weasels before, and you've also, I expect you've examined some of their footprints, maybe. Have you actually seen a weasel in person, though?
Are weasels coming around Lockhaven?
No. Never.
She's probably ventured outside of Lockhaven to, because she knows the area very well.
Yeah.
So, and she also went to Tapper's Point,
Mm-hmm.
so she's probably seen weasel footprints.
Yeah. So you get the idea that, yeah, these roads are being worn down by someone or something, and you don't really you are able to find a moment in Grass Lake where you could sort of like piece this together after traveling for so long. And again, you guys deliver the mail to the mice here. Grass Lake is it's a fairly interesting place. It is on the lakeside, so delivering the mail is a little bit it's a little bit like harder because you have to run around the town. It's bigger than Wolf Point. It's an actual it's almost like a city almost. Not as bustling as Port Sumac, but still, you sort of still have to hand deliver a lot of the mail. You need to sort of find a place to stay for the night. And you notice Tamric says he'll probably meet you guys tomorrow morning. He has something to take care of. Which, again, Matriarch's orders.
Of course.
Okay. And as you stay the night, you find an inn that is sort of made out of a giant turtle shell, sort of like half submerged into the center of town. It looks like some sort of like inn and bakery seems to have been like fused together, it seems. It's a fairly nice night. They're very open to Mouse Guard in Grass Lake. And then the next day comes, and I expect, unless you guys want to take a moment for Gibbs, if you want to tell them about the roads, you can do that right now if you want.
When we were traveling through the roads, I've noticed that the roads were kind of, things have been traveling through them more often, not just mice. I saw some weasel footprints. I think we should, I think we should be very cautious delivering the mail.
Weasels aren't supposed to be this far into the territories. They're supposed to stay out to the borders.
Well, we do
How
know.
it got past the border.
Yeah, but Pepperjack, remember that one weasel that we met on that one mission? What was her name again? Oh, I forget.
Oh, you mean Drugda?
Yeah.
Drugda.
You know, it could very well be her, or at least someone who knows her. You know, if we name drop them, maybe, you know,
I don't think
maybe
so.
we won't
She
get
was
attacked.
abandoned. She didn't seem like the type that would abandon her home. She was really attached to that place.
I'm not saying it's her, but I'm just saying, you know, if we do run into a weasel, maybe we can, you know, use her to our advantage.
Pretty far from her now, but
I think we should still be cautious.
Yeah, you're right, but, you know, it
gotta
might
keep
help.
an eye out for tracks.
Yeah, me too.
Right, and on the next day, we'll need a scout check. So who wants to make a scout check?
I only have a 2.
I have a 5.
There you go.
That's gonna be you then.
I'll help you with the scout check, or with the scout then.
Alright. Versus test.
Are we still carrying mail? Yes, right?
Yep.
Can Tilly help the scout check with the laborer? Since she's carrying mail?
It does make it so much easier. Oh my god.
No.
I knew he was gonna say no to that too.
Curses.
Can I help with Pathfinder?
Absolutely.
I don't want to spam Old Ways Wise, because it's very spammable. But in that case, I don't think there's anything Tilly can help with. So,
So-
you stay back and
I was gonna say, so is labor, so what's your point?
Yeah, but if he shot down one spammable skill, he'll probably shoot down the other one too.
No, if you set it up right.
You should know him by now. Come on, Noodle.
Well, I've used it before to say like she's using some old wives' tales about like certain things in the environment being assigned to certain animals to be like, oh, we should go this way because this particular plant is a thing that attracts this certain kind of animal, which means that there won't be predators around or something like that.
I'm more kin to do that, yeah.
Okay.
Instead of, I'm carrying around the mailbag, here I come, Pepperjack.
Alright,
Alright.
so I got 8.
God.
Here we go.
Noodle, did you see my message in Zoom? Oh,
I did not see this message. What are we talking about? Whoa.
I'll look something up.
not liking that up.
Ah!
Oh! Alright then, never mind.
Alright. So, Gibbs, Idra leads all you guys forward. Pepperjack. I think because you're patrol leader, it definitely, or not patrol leader, but this is sort of your patrol, it seems. Tamarick seems to have like a secondary mission above all this, since he keeps splitting off from you guys, keeps trying to talk to some of the people in towns, and over time as you've been traveling, he sort of keeps sort of clacking his front teeth and grinding on something in his mind, and finally he sort of looks over to you, Pepperjack, and throwing all caution to the wind, he says, "So you lost your arm to that fox, right?"
Let's kind of look at him. Yeah.
Oh, you know, that's what the rumor says. Did you happen to know of the mice that, you know, work for the Fox or anything like that?
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know any of the mice who work for the Fox? Because that's what I've heard.
Huh. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. There's some wild mice out there. And they've made some kind of alliance. So, it's troubling stuff.
Well, yeah. That's for granted. But what about anybody here? Anybody here see the mice with the Fox?
I was actually with them on that excursion, and they seem like they can hold their own pretty well. You know, although we defeated them and
seen them
molested.
I only saw them with her once.
Yeah.
So
The other
they
time
were-
that we encountered them, they were by themselves.
Uh-huh.
One of our guards mice
What?
bested them in combat,
Why do you ask?
I'm just
and they let us go.
yeah. Was there a black fur with them, or mention of a black fur, maybe?
I
I'll
don't remember.
try and recall.
No.
Yeah. No, not that I can recall.
See,
What's going on, Tamrick?
his whiskers sort of flinch and his ears twitch irritably inside his hood.
I'll kind of like get a little closer to him. I'll go, what's going on? I can tell something's been bothering you for a while.
Well, yeah. This is a delicate matter. I can't just.
Like, I know you got other orders. Is it anything that's going to put us currently in danger?
No. Do you want to roll?
Sure.
Okay. He is going to roll against you.
All right.
You want to use your persuader? Or if you don't have persuader, do you want to try
I don't have
to persuade him?
persuader, but I do have manipulator.
How would you manipulate him?
He's kind of trying to put like run the buddy angle. Like, hey, you know, we're like, you know, two patrol guards. We got to look out for each other. Kind of, you know, buddying up. And like, hey,
true.
you can trust me.
It's
You
true.
know?
Oh, that's true. Oh, now you're playing it on him. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like
And
that
it's
a
like
lot.
you can trust me. You know of my accolades here, at Tapper's Point. So
I know all of your accolades.
yes. So it's like I'm willing to give an arm and a leg for what needs to be done. So you
An
can
arm
trust
and possibly like.
Hold on there. Before you go that far, let's see if you can get some helping dice.
me. Yeah.
How do you guys? If you guys want to help, you can. This is just a versus test.
I
I
have.
have Persuader.
I do too.
What would you say to sort of convince Tamrick Butternut to sort of open up?
I would probably be like, look, I mean, if it's gonna impact us later down the road, then you might as well, tell us. I mean, we're trying to do this for the good of Tapper's Point and the good of Mousekind. I don't think it's very nice of you if you hold back information, especially if it's gonna be detrimental to, the survival of the Mousekind.
Idra?
Teacher would say, if you know something, you should tell us. We're all in the mouse herd together. We want to help just like you do.
He lets out a deep sigh, but he's not cracked yet. That's 2 helping dice. Tilly, do you have anything you want to help with, or do you want to just be like, nope?
The first first of all, Tilly doesn't actually have any skill that she could help with, but secondly, this guy's given her like some weird vibes. Like he's been really brusque and curt with them this entire trip, and he hasn't helped them out with their tasks even once. So she's just gonna keep her head down for now.
No, I did not say he gave you helping dice. It's very perceptive of you. Pepperjack, I'm ready to roll when you are.
All right.
Oh boy. Oh! Explode the 6, explode the 6.
That was me. Alright.
Oh, that's weird.
Alright. In that case, he sort of stops walking for a moment. And he just tilts his head up to the rain, lets out a sigh, and he says, "What heck? At this point, I don't see the harm. It's an impossible mission anyways. I don't know why the matriarch thought it would be worth something." Okay, so I came to Tapper's Point for a very different reason than all of you did. Like, all of you were stationed there. You did a mission, you delivered something to Tapper's Point, and you stayed at the outpost. My job, after I had delivered that baby ant herd, was to ensure that a court sentence was fulfilled.
Court
Wow.
sentence.
For whom?
And why?
I don't know if you were there. There was some time in 1152. We had a breach in Lockhaven. A lot of patrols were out when this happened. We were quick to quell this rebellion. But Barkstone's never been the same. And I dare say Lockhaven's never been the same. It was led by a patrol guard with black fur. He went by the name of Midnight.
Would Ida know this? She's from Lockhaven.
If you are, yes, you lived through
I
this.
grew up in Lockhaven.
Idra, in fall of 1152, there was a mouse who declared war on Lockhaven, on the Mouse Guard, and his name was Midnight. And he claimed an ancient weapon known as the Black Axe and masqueraded as its wielder in order to rile up the Mice of Barkstone to overthrow the Mouse Guard and take control of the territories. He was stopped and exiled into the Wild Country beyond the Scent Border, as far as you know.
What year was that?
1152,
And what year is it now?
1155.
Okay. So she.
Wouldn't it be funny if I said 1151? That'd be awesome.
Future.
Future. Future.
Oh, Ishmael, I love you. Goodbye, Ishi.
Bye, Ish.
But yeah, you know that, and he says, "We're just trying to ensure that with these rumors of mice out there who clearly can, I don't know if it's peace, but they can live together with predators. We just want to make sure a tyrant in the making is not what's happening. But I can't find him. I figured with Tapper's Point as an outpost, they could keep an eye out, but I've already investigated as far east as I dare to go, and there's no way I'm jumping into a foxhole, so..."
Yeah. Avoid those.
Yeah, I would say don't mess with foxes.
But have made it pretty far out. The Foxborough lies southeast of Tapper's Point.
It does.
So,
Which is too close for my tastes, but for now, we haven't had a fox try to claw its way into Tapper's Point, so, you know, could be.
well,
Could
we
be
also
nothing.
ended up moving the scent border out further, so that was successful.
And that is when you see in the muddy road strands of red. And you sort of lean down.
hair?
Yeah, it's big hair.
Like fox hair.
It's a little dirty, but when you clean it up a bit, it looks just like the hair on the cloak that you and Ellie have.
Huh.
Almost as if they came from the same pelt.
Oh, this can't be good.
I just kind of pluck one of them out and just kind of look at them.
Does it smell like the same box?
I'd say yes. I mean, I'm thinking mice would be able to discern this, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah, they smell heavily of fox, and the one you're holding smells of mice. On top of
Might be
that
the one
fox.
This might be the one that work. These might be some of the ones that work for her.
I don't think we should get involved with them. They sound pretty nasty from what Tamrick was saying.
They are nasty. We don't have the backup to fight them and the fox.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I'm heading back to Lockhaven. To get you some help. I don't know if it's gonna be of any worth. But... And you see he's really skeeved for a moment. And he says, that's as much as I can tell you. I'm going to go get you help.
Alright.
Because at this point, this
Oh.
is as much as I can do.
Alright, well listen. Thanks for the heads up. We're gonna keep our eyes peeled and see if they have some kind of I guess some kind of a base of operation or something on the inside.
Well,
If we can spot something like that, we're gonna keep our distance. But
this
if
is
I
what-
can spot it, I'll get word back as quickly as possible.
this is what worries me, is that the mice can move past the scent border at least. The fox, we're not sure yet.
Yeah.
Listen, when we
Okay.
hit Lone Pine, I gotta head back to Lockhaven. The rest of you have to go back.
Alright. So, quick question. This midnight,
Yes.
how long has he been a thorn in Gwendolyn's side?
He has him. That's either a big relief, or it is going to be worse than Thorn. We trust him. He was on the road to become a patrol leader, maybe more. He was dedicated to the Mouse Guard. He just had a different idea on what the Mouse Guard should be for the rest of the territories. I hope he's dead, and you should too.
Alright, Tamrick.
Don't
Let's get this job done.
tell Quincy or Arabelle about this.
Why?
Matriarch's orders.
That's a little strange coming from her. but she is a matriarch.
And after that, unless you guys have any more questions, you go to Lone Pine.
Hi,
Yep.
you Butterface or whatever your name is.
I've been called worse.
I love it.
Tilly is looking at him with a strangely blank expression on her face and goes, "So if you're here to help us, might I request that you help me carry some of this mail? We'd go a bit faster if you didn't have to wait for me."
Well, I just wanted to see what country mice were made of. And he comes over to he'll help shoulder the bag.
Okay. Tilly shoves some of it onto him and is watching him.
And this might have been his tactic this entire time, because that bag is very, very light now after visiting 2 towns. And you guys arrive in Lone Pine, which, as you might expect, is surrounded by pine trees. And from there, I think if you'd like, you can give me a circles check, because what's going to happen is Lone Pine doesn't have a dedicated mail distributor. So you guys can sort of, as you are doing the delivery with the mail, you can make a circles check to sort of find the Barrow brothers as well.
Alright.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of check that any of us could make to determine, whether the amount of mail that we're distributing now compared to the amount of mail that we distributed in the previous 2 towns makes sense considering how light the bag is now?
Sure.
What kind of test would that be?
Circles.
Okay.
Circles, or for that specific purpose, administration. Administration for that purpose, but one of you has to make a circles check.
Circles first, because that's based in the mission.
Okay, well, who got the best circle?
Not Tilly!
Not Dilly. Pepperjack is at 3.
Probably not.
I'm
Ida.
checking.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. You guys roll those
For
dice.
circles?
Yeah, obstacle 3, by the way.
Yeah, I have it too. So it
So,
looks.
Where do I find
Split it.
circles?
Go do it.
Where do I find circles?
it should be next to your nature and will.
Oh, I see it. I have 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah, so is Pepperjack. Oh boy.
So it looks like
Rock, paper,
people
scissors.
tied for 2.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh boy.
No.
I got it at 3, so.
Who hasn't rolled yet?
Who has circles?
Who hasn't rolled yet in this mission?
Ellie. And,
Ellie.
yeah, Ellie.
I don't wanna, cause your circles is higher.
This is?
Yeah,
I thought
mine's
we were
at
tied for
3.
2.
No, I'm at 3.
Oh, okay.
We
So
need.
yeah,
I mean, yeah. So you're already equal to the obstacle, and then if you get helping dice,
yeah, sorry, I thought it was 2.
no, it's all good.
So, I get an okay shot at the obstacle. But I'll probably need help.
Yeah, I
Help
mean,
can be given.
yeah.
Let's see, what can I help with? Can all of us help with circles? I wonder. I wonder if the usual too many cooks rule applies to special abilities checks.
That's a good question.
I don't think they do, but that's a GM thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could help with.
What?
I'm thinking. we're doing this trying to figure out how to distribute the mail.
Maybe some kind of persuader.
Yeah, I
I
can
was
help
about
with
to say, help with
persuader.
Persuader, like rope
I was
other
gonna
people
say I
into
have
helping.
Persuader,
I can
so
help with persuader
Yeah,
or
it's like, hey,
haggler.
you know people around here, right?
Precisely.
Persuader,
Yeah.
persuader or haggler.
Yeah, 4. Does the too many cooks rule also apply to special abilities checks like circles and resources?
No. When it's special abilities check, you just need to tell me what your character is doing and how you roleplay that out.
Okay, awesome. In that case, all of us can help with circles. It just comes down to like what specifically we're doing.
so how does circles actually like work? Like what?
It's who you know and how readily you strike up a rapport with other people. So it's your socializing skill.
I mean, I look pretty social, so I feel like that's a given.
Yeah, well there you go. Like Ellie strikes up conversations with people who seem like they would know where to go with this stuff.
So that's my circles.
Tilly has a circles of 1, so she like awkwardly tries to flag down people and ask for directions, and is super awkward.
He's gonna try to. Pepperjack's gonna try to tell Tilly like, you gotta stand up straight. Stand up straight.
Tilly is trying to follow his instructions, but like keeps reflexively slinking into a crouch and giving the skittish animal look to anybody who comes too close.
Ira is like she wants to talk to them, but she's just like shying away. So she finally like, instead of talking, she goes up and she's just like points to the address.
Aww.
Precious.
She signed.
Whenever you're ready, give me that obstacle 3.
If 4 doesn't die.
So cute, how can I not? Who's rolling, by the way?
Pepperjack.
Yep.
It's gonna be me. So I got 6. I kind of want to use my one arm against myself.
Yeah.
That's a good place for it.
Nice.
Like, oh my god.
So basically, like the people were kind of like giving me like weird looks because I only have one arm, and
That's
I look like a really rough mouse at this point.
Yeah, they're set off by your positive demeanor, and then they notice that you're missing something, and it sort of it catches them very quickly. And yeah, you'll get a player's turn check. That's very smart.
All right, so I'm gonna do that. So then I got 5. So rolling 5. And oh yeah, let's roll 5. There we go.
Success. You deliver the mail appropriately, and you also are able to find your way to what looks like an open office, an open workspace. And surrounding the shelves are various planks of wood that are being packed away. And it actually looks like it's pretty empty for the most part, as these 2 mice, both of them of a dark brown fur, sort of peer up and are caught off guard by your dazzling, rainy cloak, rain-soaked cloaks. And you see both of them sort of stand up and sort of dust themselves off. Their fur is almost drenched in sawdust as they sort of march towards you, and the one on the left sort of puts out his paw and says, "Hello there! Tim Woodborough. It's great to see you."
Hi, Pepperjack.
From,
Nice to meet you.
from Tappers Point, yes?
That's me.
All right. It's good to meet you. And he's just seems
Yeah, I
exasperated.
give him a big. Yeah, I give him a big shake. Pepperjack used to the sawdust and all that. Doesn't bother him at all.
Oh yeah. And the other mouse sort of like his whiskers sort of wiggle a bit as he sneezes rather abruptly. It says, "My name's Gavin. Good to see you."
And
Bless you.
Barrow Brothers, huh?
Yep, that's us. Best pine chairs this side of the territories. Hopefully, there's better wood out there, something that can hold the moisture.
Oh, we got pretty much a bit of everything out there.
Uh,
Got pine, we got everything else too. So
We've heard.
A
yeah,
lot of trees. There's so
I've
many
heard of you
trees.
guys. You guys, your name precedes you.
Well, we gotta have a name to have a business. Might as well have it be something people remember. Something,
Very
you
true.
know, you want your friends to borrow a borrow's chair. Something
I like it.
Yeah, thank you. And
Yeah, that's catchy.
you see it, Tim Hort sort of says, well, it would work better if we'd made, you know, we make more than chairs. We don't have to always say chairs. And gives his brother. It's so much easier, though. You don't borrow someone's bench or their bed dresser. You borrow their chair or their stool. And Tim Hort says, we have the cart ready. We're ready to go whenever you are.
Or you could borrow their wagon, or you could borrow their wheelbarrow. There's a lot of cool stuff you can make.
Gavin nods deeply, sagely. Tim Hort, no.
I go, I'm a carpenter myself. Been doing what I can out there at Tapper's Point.
Oh, it's good to hear that Tapper's Point has a good pair of good hand, good paw.
I just kind of like bring up my wooden one.
Oh, look at that! And Gavin is like, oh, that's amazing! How'd you get this? Who made this? Oh, this is excellent.
Actually, Ellie here. She came through and helped me make it. We helped each other make it actually, but it was all her design. She's really smart.
It's lovely. Well
I'm
done.
a scientist.
Really?
I'm lucky to have her.
You know, I see a lot of mice lose limbs over the years, and strangely enough, we never had them approach and try to get something like this. Do you mind if... Would you let us look at this once we get settled down?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
This is something that all mice should have. These mice,
I mean, I can make you a copy of the blueprints if you want.
that'd be very helpful. I figure this will help a mouse with a few difficulties. You know, life and limb, something we could maybe sell to the guard.
Yeah, just make sure that, my name's on there somewhere. I mean, credit.
We'll work out the legal details once we have, we'll talk to the mayor once we get there.
All right.
Sounds good.
And Tim Hort just says, "Well, what will you do with the people who lose their tails? Are you going to staple a stick to their rump? Is that our business now? Is this our trademark?"
Well, no, you'd find out some way to make it work. You wouldn't just staple it down there. You'd probably tie it on. There are different ways you can make limbs work. It's not always just about stapling stuff to something else.
He gave him nods and says, "You should really open your mind more, Tim Hort." And Tim Hort says, "I can only open so many things to you." Ugh. And from there, what do you guys do? It is now the player's turn. I'm going to assume that we will have a easy trip back to Tapper's Point because, Gibbs, you knocked that frickin' Pathfinder 6 out of the park. So
Jeez.
Yeah.
each of you has a check for the player's turn, and we have one extra one. What do you want to do?
Oh, go ahead.
Let's say, Ida is gonna kind of stay and talk with, get to know Ellie and Kelly a little bit. She's heard about Pepperjack, about how he's lost his arm, and she's more curious on Ellie and Kelly on who they are and how they came into the Mouse Garden what they do. Or yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what sort of check. So how about this? Do you want to like try to find a good place for them to like settle down and have this chat? Since we've been adventuring with mail for so long, maybe what you can do is roll resources to maybe find us a good like restaurant or a good tavern to get everybody settled down and have this chat.
I can.
It's that's just one way you can do it.
Well, she was just gonna like, as they were walking back to Tapper's Point, talk with them.
In that case, before we leave town, did Butternut already like scram out of here?
Yeah, where did he go?
I think he's about to. He's doing one last check in the town. He does this. He's been doing this with every town, and he is pretty open to it about you. And he comes back and says, or at the very least, you know, at the very least, none of the fox mice are being seen. They're not causing any trouble, any worse than usual. Well, it seems like the
Yeah.
roads are being scraped clean.
That's good. It's real good. We're gonna need that. Shouldn't let our guard down though.
Heck no.
Can I ask you for a small favor?
What's that?
It's not for me. It's I kind of like pull out a little writ that I've been working on while we've been traveling, and I go, I kind of would like a second name. I want to put in a good word for Tilly. She can become a full-fledged guard mouse. I think she's ready, and I want to see if I can get your support.
You got to sit down and write this. So give me either archivist or administrator. Obstacle 2.
What if I don't have either?
Then you
Beginner's luck.
beginner's luck. You learn it by doing it. So if you don't have a
Alright.
skill and you test it, you can write it down as a skill. So which one do you want to learn? Do you want to be more like administrator, sort of know the inner workings of things, or do you want to just like sort of be like Ida in this instance?
I think administrator,
Mhm.
because Pepperjack is starting now trying to learn the inner workings of everything that's going on above him, and he doesn't want to be left behind on that.
It's true. So go ahead, write down administrator, and you must test half your will rounded up. So what is that?
My will is 4.
Full. So you're rolling 2 dice, and it is obstacle 2. Do you try to enlist Ellie or Idra?
Who's the
What am I doing?
I don't know. There's not a lot of helping dice that can be garnered for administrator, other than archivist.
I have archivist.
let me go.
Handy. Sorry, what's that?
Yeah, she has archivist.
I have archivist at 2, so you can do that. Archivist, or what was the other one?
Orator.
Oh, I don't have that one.
Could I use Persuader to try? Because it's a letter about trying to get Tilly into the guard mouse. I can use persuasive words and persuasive sense to kind of persuade the person to show that Tilly is wanting to be is meant to be in the guard mouse.
Here's the thing, though. This is not just a person. This is not just someone. This is Gwendolyn, the matriarch of the Mouse Guard.
And here's the thing. Ira was under Gwendolyn's rank. Not rank, but like she was with Gwendolyn while she was in Lockhaven. So she
Yes.
knows how to talk to Gwendolyn. She
Yeah,
knows how to persuade.
yeah, I figure you've actually had some moments where everybody jokes about having tea with Gwendolyn, but I think you were probably one of the more relaxing mice to have tea with, perhaps. As she sort of gave you a mission, gave you like a path to go travel on. She probably like sort of like quizzed you or asked about your lonely travels or whatnot. I will allow that. Yeah, but you have to. Pepperjack has to put your words into the letter. So, what do you want Pepperjack to put in the letter from you?
Do I need to say dear Gwendolyn or just like say what I want?
I think you could deliver this in character, like as if you were like sort of like, well, I gotta convince her.
Dear Gwendolyn, I hope you are doing very well. I've been traveling with Tilly here for these past few days, and I've seen she's a remarkable guard mouse. I'm sure she is strong. She is charismatic. She is willing to put others before herself. She would make an amazing guard mouse. I believe that she has earned this. I believe she deserves this. Signed, Ida.
Okay. Pepperjack, you write this down on like a little cover letter.
Yes.
And do you Pepperjack? Okay, so you're gonna help him organize it. You're gonna be like, okay, here's how the essay. You're like the syllabus.
Yeah.
Ellie, with your archivist. That's how I imagine this. Do you want to add any flair to this as well with your helping dice?
What?
How exactly are you like helping with archivist? Like I figure you sort of know how to tell Pepperjack to format the paper.
Yeah, I tell him like, so I'm like kind of like looking at this paper, I'm like, like, oh, enter this word here, it'll make you sound really smart, or like, or write it this way, it'll sound really cool this way, and kind of like things like that, kind of like to make it sound formal,
Okay. Whew. Let's write it down.
Okay.
Whew.
Now, Pepperjack, this is an important question. Do you get any helping dice from Tilly?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if Tilly would be able to. She's like, what?
She's like, what the hell's going on? I don't know what's what.
No.
They're all crowded in the corner and they didn't invite me!
Actually, Tilly might be off doing another check if the thing that I want to do for my check is allowed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pepperjack, here's what I need. You need to roll those 4 dice against obstacle 2. I need you to also, if you want, see if you can use a trait for this, if you want.
Yeah. Pepperjack's just gonna try and like pour his heart onto this page, so he's just gonna do it fearlessly for Tilly. Just put his rank and everything on there and be like, under my tutelage, I am certain that she is more than ready.
Alright. Give me
So
that
he's
roll.
So he's like kind of putting his name forward. I'm also going to spend 3 persona points.
Alright. You got it. You set it into a little envelope, hand it over to Tamrick, who takes it, gives a nod, and he says, well, at the very least, she can carry her weight in mail.
That she can.
I miss Tenderpaws. I'm gonna see a lot more of them these days.
She's been a pleasure to mentor.
Is she your first?
Yeah. Hopefully not the last.
Well, for some mentors, one is all they can stand. You've shown some good qualities, Pepperjack. I'm gonna... Don't blame me if you get called back to Lockhaven anytime soon.
No problem.
There are a lot of good things you can do.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I gotta go. You all take care, alright?
Me
And
too.
Have a good one.
And Noodle, go ahead and do yours, unless it's something to do with Tamrick.
You said that Tamrick like goes around on like rounds.
You
while they're delivering
guys
mail?
are my best friends.
They know what he's doing during these rounds.
He appears to be visiting the leaders of these towns and speaking with them. You saw him do it in Wolf Point with the chief there. He did it in Grass Lake as well, but you just assumed he did. He went into the head administrative office. In Lone Pine, he's doing the same thing,
Okay.
it seems.
Because the thing is, this guy's raising some red flags for Tilly. Like his story isn't quite adding up. Like, what? Clarify out of character again one more time, so I understand what he said on the way up. He knows that there are the wolf with mice helpers, and what was the thing with Midnight at Lockhaven again? Remind me.
Okay, so the thing with Midnight and Lockhaven is that 3 years have passed since he was exiled. And Gwendolyn sent him to Tapper's Point and to the Reaches Beyond to sort of search for signs if there were any activity from him at all.
And Matriarch's orders not to tell anyone, including the guard captain of Tapper's Point.
And Quincy, yes. Both of them.
Okay, yeah, that's the part that's setting up red flags, because it doesn't make sense that something like a mission like that would have explicit orders not to tell the people in charge here. So she, and I don't know if the right time to do this would be when he's making those rounds or when he's supposedly trying to leave for Lockhaven. She could either try to tail him when he's talking to these people and make sure he's actually doing everything above board that he says he is, or she might try to like follow him a bit when he quote-unquote leaves, just to make sure he's at least headed in the right direction of Lockhaven and not trying to pull a fast one on them.
So I think what you would have to do is, for one, you would have to tail him outside the city, it looks like.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to make a scout check versus his scout.
Okay. Scout of 2. Oh boy. Let's see. I believe I will use the driven trait to help myself. Bring that up to 3. Perhaps use the curious trait against myself to bring that down to 2, because I really don't think this check is going to succeed anyway.
You can't.
Oh, I can't because it's the player's turn, so never mind. I'll just do that.
Oops.
Driven to help myself.
Try to repeat everything you said, because I accidentally left my mic on, so you were echoing.
Oh, dang it. What all should I repeat? What I'm trying to do?
Yes.
Okay, basically, Tilly finds it suspicious that this guy is supposed to be on Matriarch's orders, searching this region for signs of a potentially dangerous fugitive with like a nasty history, and has explicit orders from the Matriarch not to tell the guard captain and like acting high patrol leader of the area where he's doing the research. That sounds really weird to her, and also he's been like kind of rude and standoffish and just kind of strange this entire time. So she thinks there's something fishy and wants to see if she can like observe anything more about him that can actually confirm something. So she's gonna try and follow him when he's supposedly used for Lockhaven, just to tail him a little bit and see if he actually goes in the direction of Lockhaven or does something like crazy.
So you can use your scout or your nature for this.
Oh, nature. I'm using nature. Let's see. That'll bring my nature down, right? Because this is kind of unmouse-like.
No, this is hiding.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will. I'm still using my traits, so that brings it up to 5.
Is this fine? Vincent, is it really fine?
This is fine, he says as the building.
This is fine.
I'm gonna add another persona point and bring that up to 6. And okay.
Just as he's like writing the letter, like and she has bettered
Immediately
herself.
proving him wrong.
She's improving in every aspect, no longer getting into trouble. And
I don't know what to do with this kid. She's trouble. Okay, so I'm gonna roll.
Ugh.
Bad time to fail, Tilly. Can I re-roll anything? Is there anything?
You have to answer that.
Would old ways wise be applicable in finding like weird places to hide that normal people wouldn't think of unless they've been in the wild country their whole life?
You're not in the wild country.
Wait a second. Because I have old ways is about wild mice, right? And wild mice is pretty much anything outside of the settlement.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be applicable since they're traveling outside of the settlement?
I love you. What are you using? A fate point or a persona point?
Which would be more advantageous for me to use.
The persona point.
Okay.
That allows you to re-roll all of the failures.
Oh boy. Okay, I will re-roll all of those failures. That is
4.
3, 4. Yes, 4. Tied.
We tied!
Can I re-roll that 6 if I spend a point?
Fate point, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Come on.
Silly, no.
Oh my god!
We tied. Tied.
You could still. You can reroll the 1 too.
Here's what we have to do now. We have to roll our health.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I bet you I have higher health. Let's see.
She's like, oh, bring it on.
Fuck.
This is like the one thing I'm super good at. Okay.
Oh my god!
Tilly is like pure CrossFit. Like she's just
She got
epic.
2 6s to boot. Like, for real though.
Tilly is a varmint.
Alright, let's go ahead and see what happens. And Tilly deserves to be the most precious, most
The most precious and hardworking little piece of shit.
I mean, let's go ahead and delve into this. You slip out of Lone Pine, following in the brush and cloaking yourself in the dark, as this gentleman, this so-called patrol guard, makes his way out into the oh god, that's not the music I need. Oh god, that's not the music. That's not the music. What?
Oh my god.
Oh god,
So
Jesus.
intense. It's so intense music.
That-
Run, Tilly, run!
Run! Okay.
Better book it.
So you go out, follow him as best you can, which is strangely enough not as difficult. The only real trouble is making sure that you stay quiet as you follow. How far do you want to follow him? Do you want to follow him for like an hour or two?
How dark? Like, what time of day is this?
It's probably dusk.
Okay. Maybe 1 hour.
Okay.
And that way, it's not quite as stupid as going 2 hours out and then having to go 2 hours back in pitch black.
Right. You move forward, and over time, it kind of becomes clear that he's going off the beaten path. He's moving off the road by which is just as faint as the other roads you have been traveling on. And he veers off until you suddenly begin to hear other noises, and sort of fearing that it might be a snake or some sort of maybe a bird that might give you away, you sort of hunch down, sort of trying to remember how. Is this the point where your wise comes into play? Where
Probably, I would imagine so.
Okay, so after that, you realize this was the most appropriate thing to do, and one of the luckiest things, because there are 4 other mice who come out of the darkness through the brambles, and they are all of a light tan color, save for one who appears to have sort of more of a creamy color around their side. And you see that they are wielding rather fierce-looking swords, garbed in very, very odd clothes. They're wearing skins and also wearing various parts of insects that have been sort of strapped on in some sort of fashioned armor. And you also notice that they are wearing, each of them, what looks like a red feather in their little headpiece.
Distinctive. Okay.
One of them approaches Tamric, and you hear them say, "I'm glad you're able to make it through just fine." And he goes, "Well, I have Mouseguard, escorting me, basically. Scrubbing away roads is a stupid idea. It's gonna put regular mice, caravan mice, out of sorts. It's not gonna put Mouseguard head over heels. That's unfortunate. We'll have to try something else. Well, you still have, what? I don't know. Get pheromones? Something like that? You know very well. That secret is not in our grasp. When will the old woman talk?" Tamric shrugs and says, "Listen, I'm not in charge of her. Right now, she's dealing with some little ant project. You'll have to talk to her. As far as I know, we're through. I'm going back to Lockhaven. You're going back to the Scent Border. Alright. What should I tell Midnight?" Tell him that he still has some friends in Lockhaven. Tell him he better get over that border quick if he wants to take a swing at... Well, Matriarch wouldn't suit him now, would it? And that is when they depart.
Okay.
You have to stay in place until they leave.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
What do you do once they do leave?
Once they do leave, she, as carefully and quietly and cautiously as possible, GTFO. Oh my god. Okay, she's gonna she's going to be super stealth mode as long as necessary until it's safe to start booking it the hell back to town and find Pepperjack and let him know we gotta get back to Towers Point right the F now. We gotta tell Arabelle about this. This is some bullshit. Something's going down.
Ellie and Gibbs, or Ellie and Idra, tell me what you're doing with your player's turn checks, because I don't think you'll be able to, you won't be able to do much, in response to
Yeah. I mean, Ellie was
Travel back in time and say
gonna
they do it before
ahead.
this.
Ellie was gonna go ahead and see if she could talk to. Oh God, I can never get his name right. Ernest? I don't. How do you say his name?
Who?
The head scientist. I can never.
Urianos.
Urianos. I can never say his name right for the life of me. She was gonna try and go and see if there's any way to create a better arm for Pepperjack, but also to see like if she could start some kind of like program where like she can start making like limbs for other people who are disabled in Topper's Point.
So here's what I think I want to do. I think Urianos will in his own time make a new arm, because he's done it before. What I want you to do instead is try to draft blueprints that can be malleable to.
You want to run that by me again? You got a little choppy there.
Excuse me. I think Urianos is going to make the arm for you. But I want your check to be about this this like program you want to set up. So go ahead and roll me scientist.
Okay.
To sort of like start crafting what looks like a blueprint that is malleable enough to sort of make a limb for whoever has lost you're basically making a prosthetic like diagram that will be able to be used like universally.
Yeah. I'm assuming I won't get any help from this.
That sounds tough. So give me obstacle 3.
You said scientist? Oh, I have. Oh. Can anybody help me? Because I only have 3 for this. Well, hold on. Can I use my rational trait to add to this?
Yes.
What?
Oh, sorry.
What
What's going on?
did you say, Babes?
I guess a Pepperjack can help.
Ooh, you're
always
muted,
willing to
Gibbs.
help.
Oh, I see.
He's always willing to help Ellie.
You could use carpenter.
Yeah, with his carpentry, he's like, all right, let's see, you know, how maybe a different kind of wood, you know, maybe like some kind of petrified wood, something stronger.
Yeah. Would that work?
For certain, I think that's an avenue to go.
Anybody else?
I think if
I can see what I have. I don't know if there will be anything.
let me see.
What is it again?
Or you're muted.
Scientist. Oh, scientist.
Or you're muted.
Scientist. Dang it. There we go.
Scientist.
Oh, my mute button.
I missed the button.
Missed the button. Missed the button.
The button. Ah. Maybe I almost want to say armor, but I kind of. Do you think armor? Because armor can be used for like heavy armor and like leather armor.
It
I was gonna
involves,
say-
like, working with materials and being able to note down in 2 dimensions how things are going to fit together.
Yeah.
In ways that other people can understand.
So I think if you want, you can use armor to sort of say totally.
Armor.
So that's 6. Tilly, you got anything?
Get a big old gauntlet arm, like Ash from Evil Dead.
I honestly don't think Tilly could help. I don't think she has anything that would be useful
Well, I was
right now.
thinking you might be able to use your healer to like describe the anatomy so that they know how to.
Oh, like maybe like what sort of range of motion would be necessary?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll when you're ready.
I have 7 dice. I'm totally ready.
You say that.
Maybe.
You said
Whoops.
that.
Oh.
Can I spend a fate point to reroll?
With what wise?
Oh crap! I don't have it. Shit. Why do I always fail when I'm trying to make an arm for Pepperjack? Like for real though.
How about you become tired?
Okay, I like that because she would have been like, yeah, she can deal tired.
Ellie,
Because,
you're
you know,
doing it
she's a
again.
scientist. She can
You gotta
totally do
sleep.
that.
You gotta sleep, Ellie.
No,
Cares.
She's
no,
like,
I'm
"No,
okay.
I just need
I'll
more coffee."
figure it out. I don't need sleep. I'm a scientist.
Keep saying that, but you do need sleep.
I'll be okay, Pepperjack. Besides, this is for you, so I'm willing to sacrifice it.
Now I have to like nervous eat.
Don't nervous eat. You know it's not good
And
for
then
you.
after I nervous eat, I gotta worry eat.
Oh no.
It
You're
just
already
starts a
chubby
terrible
enough,
chain of
Jack.
eating that I can't stop.
You're already nervous enough, Pepperjack.
This is so sweet.
Ellie turns to Pepperjack. She goes, "Look, you need an arm more so than I need sleep. So, I can sleep when I'm dead."
Fine.
Just promise me that you won't stress eat. At least try not to. I'll put Tilly in charge of making sure there's no food around.
Oh no.
No, please, no. I'll leave you alone. Whatever you want.
See what happens? She gets tired.
I'll leave
She
you
gets
alone.
feisty.
You can have all the time you need, Ellie. No need to bother Tilly.
Went straight
She's
with it, like,
really worried. She's got her own problems, and I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. And
She's like, "No, I need you here for a model." No, she grabs his arm, she pulls him back, she goes, "No, I need you here for a model."
Oh no.
Oh,
But
that's so
I mean,
sad.
you can have some food, but not like all of it, so that you stress eat.
Fine.
Poor boy. All right, that's your check. Gibbs, did you have something you wanted to do? Oh wait,
Yeah.
did we already do yours?
yeah,
Uh,
it was,
we. Oh, we
didn't
never.
want to talk
We
to,
we tried to set it up and then we never got to it. I'm so sorry.
We could use the time machine. We could use the time machine to say, meanwhile, before all of this happened.
For all
Okay,
of
so
Quick,
if-
Marty, get in.
dear God.
ooh.
Uh,
Okay, so I was saying you could use resources, or perhaps even Persuader or Haggler to sort of get your party like a good meal somewhere in town, and that way you could sort of just gather them all around and sort of learn about them.
let me take a look
So,
before I say anything.
oh, this is I know how to set this up. It's like 30 minutes to closing time. or like 20 minutes to closing time, and you come in, you're like, please, it's just gonna be like a friend meeting. That's all. We're not gonna order a lot.
Waiter.
So yeah, go ahead and make a Persuader check. I don't think it's gonna be
Right.
that difficult. What do you want out of this?
Just to know more about her, who she's in the guard mouse with. She wants to know who they are, like what their roles are, what their belief. Not like how they have, but like what they.
That is powerful knowledge. That is how you blackmail people.
I wasn't meaning for like blackmail.
Dang.
Wanting to be friends.
I just want to be your friend.
Tell me all your dirty secrets.
I want, yeah.
Here,
I wanna
have
be your
another dinner
friend.
roll.
Oh, by the way, here's some Bradbury.
More breadsticks, please.
More
Go ahead. Just roll. Just roll. Just roll. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see.
0. I'm not persuading anybody.
It's the thought. It's the thought
What?
that counts.
Yeah. Hang on.
Let me
I
make
could have added a trait to it. I just realized I could have added generous.
You want to go ahead and do that?
Sure.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll one more d6.
One more. But what? Nope.
Oh no.
This is so sad.
It is.
Okay, we can like
It's the
like, find a
thought
place
that
outside.
counts. It's the thought that counts.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna be hungry and thirsty because you're so busy trying to talk to them that you don't eat anything in front of you. Like it's
Oh,
yeah, it's one of those situations.
gotcha.
So yeah, what does this look like? Pepperjack, Ellie, later on, Tilly. I mean, Tilly, is this before you took your little adventure?
This is beforehand.
Yeah, I
so-
don't think she was prepared for how hungry Pepperjack really was. She's like, "Oh, we're not gonna order a lot," and Pepperjack just shows up and he's like, "Oh boy, is this the menu?" He's like, "Oh, are you gonna eat that?" He's like taking her food. He's like,
Oh, Pepperjack.
"I mean, this is a really
that's what
nice
she doesn't eat.
place. We've been on the road a long time."
Idra, what do you start with? Go ahead.
So what made you want to join the guard mouse?
Well, my sister and I mean, we've always wanted to help people out, and we figured what better way to do it than the guard mice. You know, they always protect people, and they try and go out of their way to help people out. So my sister and I, we always grew up, you know, like basically thinking of others before ourselves. So we thought, you know, join them and see, you know, if we have what it takes to become one of the well-known, you know, guards mice that, you know, walk Tapper's Point and back from where we're from. I think it's Brewstock.
Your sister's Ida, correct? Something like that. I literally don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, it's
Ida,
It's
Ida.
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 don't let
And
it
she's like, yeah,
eat
that's
up-
her.
eat up too much. Oh.
I haven't. She's like, I haven't seen her in a while. I really miss her.
My last mission I had with her. She's a very skilled fighter. I actually don't remember. I don't remember what happened. My sick brain can't remember.
I think she did pull out some fights. Yeah.
Yeah, Ida can handle herself.
Yeah, no, she can. Like, I know that for a fact.
I mean, is this a surprise to Ellie that Ida, who is so, you know,
Oh, a lot of times, I mean, she's like, she kind of goes, I mean, you know, it's a surprise that she's fighting so much, but at the same time, I know that she can fight really well when she has to. So, I mean, it's kind of a surprise in the fact that she's doing a lot of fighting, but it doesn't really surprise me in the fact that she can hold her own.
Pepperjack's like, "Yeah, yeah."
what do you answer with Pepperjack?
I go, "Woo."
Yeah, Pepperjack. And she kind of looks, she kind of looks over him and kind of like goes to like stop eating for once.
This is so good. Compliments to the chef. Yeah. I joined because I was mean, I'm a pretty good scout. I'm from Elmos originally. I thought like I had all the tools that it took to make a good guard's mouse, and I worked my way up. And the longer I've been here, the more I want to see Tapper's Point thrive. It's become home, like a home away from home. I like almost everybody there. There's a certain grandma that can go, but everybody's pretty awesome for the most part. And yeah, I just looking to try and progress things and do the best for our people as much as I can.
Peter nods understandingly.
Now, are you gonna eat that?
You can have it.
Thanks.
Hungry and thirsty settles in. Tilly is there. Do you ask her?
I had to make sure to help her get the hungry.
You're muted.
Oh my god.
I think it's Tilly's turn.
Yeah.
Tilly is like chomping on some bread as your attention turns to her, and she notices that your attention has turned to her, and she continues chomping on this bread as if, wow, this is some really chompy bread. I have bread in my mouth, and like eventually she like struggles to swallow it, and she swallows, and then she says, "I'm sorry, what was the question?"
What made you want to join the Mouse Guard?
And she like takes another bite of the bread, basically stalling to think of an answer, and eventually, after a significant amount of chewing, she says, seemed more interesting than the family trade, so I just signed up. Yep, that's me. And she shoves more bread in her mouth.
Oh, she's so adorable.
The cheese was such a good touch on the bread. I mean,
She nods vigorously.
You can feel the eyes of the staff from behind one door burning into you.
Oh, they pierce your soul.
Idra, you're oblivious. What do you do?
When you're not doing guard mouse stuff, do you have any hobbies or anything that you like to do?
Directed at everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Not all one at a time.
Bread.
I go, well,
by more bread so
I
someone
got-
else can answer.
I go, well, I got my carpentry that I work on whenever I can. I gotta keep those skills up. And I've been trying to learn, I guess, the political things that are going on, but I don't really get it too much.
Yeah, I'm never one for politics either. And here it's even more confusing. I don't understand what's going on.
I want to apologize, but I can't.
It's okay. We still love you.
Yeah.
Ellie,
Yes.
do you answer the question?
Sorry, what was the question?
Breadsticks!
Breadsticks.
Sorry, I completely like zoned out. Sorry.
What do you do when you're not doing guard mouse stuff? Like, what are your hobbies?
Well, I'm a scientist mouse, so I like to, do experiments in my spare time. I also like, creating stuff too, like the arm for Pepperjack. I did that in my spare time. And I'm trying to create a new one for him. I mean, and she kind of like rubs her head just because fact like she's like super tired and doesn't really know how else to answer the question. And like you can see her like rubbing her eyes and kind of like trying to go like like trying to stay awake.
That's amazing. The arm, that looks really amazing.
Oh, thanks. I mean it's not it's not anything special. It's just something.
Oh,
that
hush,
makes
it's
it work.
great. It's a
you
work
are-
of genius. Come on.
It's real special. I mean, I can wave again.
I can help in some way. I mean, I know a bit about armor, and I can probably find a way to get
Pepperjack just like opens up his mouth like,
You can make him like a metal arm. Like you can like fit his arm with like all kinds of armor and stuff, and then he'd be like a bionic mouse instead of just a wooden mouse.
I've always wanted armor.
Um,
I've just been so busy.
I can.
What
Like,
stuff
how
in
did
your face?
Hey, I've been eating all the right stuff. These breadsticks are a treat.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys just like order nothing but breadsticks?
Hey, I wasn't the one doing ordering here, so
I mean,
Yeah, we're those customers. This is why she got.
that's all them.
This is why she got no successes. 'Cause we're terrible.
that's why I got 0 because all we ordered was breadsticks. We're not
Yeah.
even ordering food. We're not ordering the entree. We're ordering the appetizers. Not even the appetizers.
Pretty much.
No,
We're getting the free breadsticks
We're
from
getting the
Olive
free
Garden.
breadsticks, and then we're splitting the appetizer. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Everyone's like, no. I think
Do you have any other pressing questions, Idra?
Are they wait? Are they Olive Garden breadsticks or are they Red Lobster breadsticks?
Red Lobster doesn't have breadsticks. They have cheddar biscuits.
Okay, but
Cheddar biscuits, yeah.
same difference.
It's a mix
Olive Garden.
because Pepperjack said they came with cheese, so they're sort of like a mix.
Hey,
Of the two.
I think Olive Garden has like sprinkle of Parmesan on their breadsticks.
Oh, they're biscuit sticks. They're biscuit sticks.
Their biscuits.
We've reached cloud 9.
Yeah, I think this is not even about mouse guard anymore. This is like a food talk.
This is food.
Can you tell we're hungry, chat? Can you just a little bit?
I haven't eaten all day. Can you tell?
Yeah, can you tell we're hungry just a little bit?
Is there a mimosa I've been drinking? Or...
There will be one this Sunday. I'm like,
It will happen.
I will have-
I highly doubt it. I bet $5.
I'm going to get the stuff tomorrow, so.
Okay. What happens now? Are you?
Tilly still hasn't answered.
Tilly stuffs another breadstick into her mouth and stares at the plate, at the tablecloth, at the wall behind you, and not making eye contact, and just says, "Bugs."
You're very shy, aren't you?
Breadstick.
She said bugs.
Bugs.
She points to Pepperjack and nods her head.
What about bugs interest you?
She shrugs. They're bugs.
Ada is now like fully concentrated on Tilly because Ada is now interested in Tilly because she feels that connection, that socially awkward connection.
Tilly is fascinated by the food.
Oh my god.
And that. What else do you got? Oh my
No,
god.
no. She's too shy to answer anything else.
And that's unfortunately where you leave with this conversation. You might make some idle talk between breadsticks, but you enjoy this moment of respite in this leg of your journey. And now we have one last player's check. Do you want this check to happen? This can go to anybody. Do you want this check to happen before or after Tilly comes back?
I think before. Well,
Ayami, if this is before Tilly goes off on her thing, you could
yeah,
as a
that's what I'm
persuader check.
thinking.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
What are you doing?
Go ahead, you know.
I don't know. Why don't you start it?
Damn it. Okay. So Ellie's gonna pull Tilly's side out of earshot of everybody. And she's like, look, I can see that you're really, you're really trying hard to impress Pepperjack here. And I'm sure you've noticed by now that I have a kind of a thing for him. And I was thinking, that, maybe I could help you out a little bit.
Tilly kind of blinks and goes, sorry, what?
She goes, I'm pretty sure that Pepperjack and I have a thing going, and so I can put in a good word for you to him, and, because I know you're trying to impress him and whatever, and, I can help you by, telling him good things about you and, stuff that you've done, that I've seen that maybe he hasn't, stuff like that. I know it's not like the best idea, but it's a start, right? Sorry, I might be talking crazy because I'm super tired, but
She, as you're talking, she stops looking at you, and she starts kind of looking off into space, as though avoiding looking at you, and like her ears kind of swivel a bit, and her tail like winds around the nearest object that a tail can wind around, and you get a sense that she's like a little conflicted, which is odd because this is a very nice offer. And she says, "Oh, that's very nice of you. I wouldn't want you to go out of your way to do anything like that.
it's not really going out of my way. I mean, I pretty much am with him 24/7 anyway, so
she's for some reason this is making her kind of nervous, and she kind of like sort of edges away from you a little bit, like she suspects some kind of ulterior motive. And she's like, I don't mean to be rude. It's just that I think I should be making my mentor think highly of me on my own merit, And so if you want
I
to make
mean,
a
I was
persuader
just
check,
gonna try and help, but it's up to you. I mean, I don't have to help. I could just, stay quiet and not say anything.
and that seems to get her thinking. So like her eyes kind of narrow and she stares off into space a moment. You can see her considering something. And so like if you want to make the persuader check, we can see how this turns out, because it could go one of two ways, and I'm not sure which way.
My persuader is not very high, though. That's the problem.
Well, her will's not very high either, and that's what you'd be opposed to, so it's not the end of the world.
Okay,
Let's see.
let's go ahead and do that then.
I can talk to Pepperjack for you.
I will use the rational trait against myself. Because I really want Tilly to be persuaded, but she comes from a backstory where, like, if somebody who has a competing interest for the affections of someone you want to be,
I have a new friend.
Want to like you, like if they offer to help you, you need to watch your back. So,
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
yeah, like so she gets that. Obviously, this place is different, and Ellie has clearly shown herself to like be a decent person, but instincts die hard. So I'm going to hinder her as much as possible. I'm gonna roll. All right.
can I use? Well, hold on, I'm thinking. Can I use loyalness to where, like, because she's like, loyal to Pepperjack and.
Actually, yeah, because you've proven that like you're a reliable, trustworthy person, so I think that would help you.
Okay.
I'm breaking
the tie in your favor. I get
nothing out of
Okay.
it that I can see to you. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
You kind of you see her consider for a moment, and then she just kind of like takes a deep breath and like grimaces, like, oh jeez, all right, just do it and get it over. And then she's like, sure, that's awful nice of you. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, no problem. You seem a little hesitant, and I know it's a far-fetched idea, but like I said, Pepperjack takes his job very seriously. So, if you impress him, he really means it. So, if any way I can help, I figured why not, at least try and offer.
Sure. I don't have as big an in with him as you do, because you're sent on more missions with him and stuff, so you have more time to show him, the kind of person you are. But I could try to do the same for you. Try to talk up, if you need to, that is.
I mean, sure. If the situation ever arises, I would like that.
Sure, reciprocal, whatever the word is. Etta used it, and I don't quite know what it means. But,
Reciprocation.
yes, that one. You do a thing for me, so I can do a thing for you, and then we're even.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. I'll righty. Yes.
Well. Well then. I like to think this pops out as you're helping Pepperjack with the letter, Ellie.
Yes.
Alright.
That's a nice way to tie it in.
And do you actually what do you say to Pepperjack in this instance, possibly?
So I go and I'm like, look, Tilly's determined. I mean, she, we really need to make this letter sound good because I think she really deserves it, And I don't speak lightly, people that I've hardly ever gone on missions with. So, that coming from me, that means something big.
Mm-hmm.
So, I really think that, in this letter, we need to do this and this to make it sound good and make it sure that she gets where she needs to be so that she can become a guard's mouse.
Well, that's why I came to you guys, because I'm really telling you the truth. This is the first time I've ever even tried this, so...
That's the first time we've ever tried it, too.
But I'm just hoping, that Gwendolyn can read my feelings on paper.
I'm sure she can. I feel like she's a very understanding monarch.
Hope so. Tilly deserves it.
Jesus.
For her sake, I do.
And that is when Tamrick comes in, you deliver it to him, Tilly follows him.
Mm-hmm. And shit goes down.
We can do this. There are no more checks, but do you guys want to go ahead and play out that scene when Tilly comes back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm down.
I mean, I am too.
I'm going to go to the bathroom while you do this.
Alright,
So, can you give us a rundown of what did you see? Or what?
Okay.
Like, out of character.
Out of character, she followed Tamrick, and he went off. He did not go in the direction that you're going if you're going to Lockhaven. He went off the road, met up with some wild mice, like way out in the boonies. And these wild mice, they're distinctive because they were all wearing a red feather, so they're all affiliated with something. And he talked to them. He told them, first of all, the thing, there was a couple of things. They said, like, when are you going to get the old woman to talk? And it was something about a chemical or a pheromone. And he was like, he basically said that the old woman, he clearly doesn't like her, seems preoccupied with an ant project that she has going on, and so she's not talking. And as far as he's concerned, that business is done. But he told these red feather wild mice to report back to Midnight and tell him that he has friends in Lockhaven, and he had better get across the border something about getting across the border. Like, I don't remember, but Tilly would probably remember more details than I do. So I'll ask for to clarify when he gets back. But yeah, some shit's going down. Like, Tamrick
Yep.
is apparently a real guardsman. She was thinking maybe he isn't, but he's clearly a traitor.
Well, I mean, he would be a traitor technically, considering he was on orders from the matriarch. So he
Say that
says,
one more
but
time.
still.
He might be using that as a cover,
It's
so he could get actual guards mice to protect him on
Yeah.
little skirmishes. So,
yeah, just to clarify, you think he's using what as a cover?
using these orders that we don't really know about from Gwendolyn.
Yeah, that's
He's
what
just
I'm thinking, too.
we're just taking his word on it. I mean, we haven't seen it like a specific writ
Right.
or anything, or so he's just on these. We're just trusting him that he has orders because he's a patrol guard just like Pepperjack. So
I'm getting my coffee. I'll be right back, guys.
apparently he is
Go. There's a cat in my seat.
apparently he is
There's a kitty cat right there.
he's definitely linked with Midnight somehow,
Oh.
and he's a big supporter of the guy. So we have to find out probably what link.
Should we tell Arabelle? It seems like something she ought to know.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta keep this quiet though. Don't let Quincy know. Just tell Arabelle. We'll keep her in the loop. We'll keep it quiet.
Yeah. Don't tell Quincy. He might blab.
We definitely will. He could keep a secret if his life depended on it.
Should I send a letter to Gwendolyn?
Yes, that's a good plan. It's
Just
hard
straight
enough
to
get
Gwendolyn?
No idea he's here.
Yeah.
We ought to
Yeah.
get back to Tapper's Point as soon as possible.
Yeah. And you had a good rapport with her, so yeah, maybe she'll listen. Relay this information.
Do you think you could get it off to her now, before we leave?
I can try, yes. I can write a letter and get it there.
You doubt that it would probably get to her in like it's gonna take maybe like 3 days to get there because they would have to wait for another patrol to come up and pick up the mail.
Could I go deliver it to her and then go back to Tapper's Point?
You could,
Oh, you would know all the shortcuts.
but
Yeah.
you would have to forego returning to Tapper's Point with the rest of the patrol. I'd say it's Pepperjack's call.
I'd say it's worth it.
Because right now, Tamrick already has a head start.
He does. Who knows however many stops he might make before you get there. Nobody knows the countryside better than you. If you think you can do this and you can make it back safely,
I can do that.
and I believe in you. All right. All right. Let's catch him.
I'm all for it.
Here, take this, and Pepperjack's gonna give her his tent that he has, and he goes, just in case you need to get a few hours in, at least you'll be safe from the weather. So he's gonna give her his tent as gear.
With all of the shortcuts she knows, how long would it take her?
I think because Lone Pine is so far away, and the roads take you away from it, from Lockhaven, you'd have to basically cut through like wild, untamed area right here. There's this big patch that's probably like a day and a half's journey of you're wandering through territory that the guard mouse doesn't patrol very often. This sounds like a mission we will have to undertake another night.
Solo mission.
As the rest of you, because we are out of players' turn checks. So, Idra, you depart from the others with the intent to charge to Lockhaven, while they go back to report to Guard Captain Arabelle. And unless you have anything else to say, we are going to end the session there.
Oh, Tilly catches her when she's on her way out to leave, and just a quick role-playing element. She like grabs the little pouch around her neck, and she like quickly like pulls out a bit of herbs, and she grabs a match and she lights it, and she like makes the herbs start smoking, and she like brushes the smoke over you, and she mutters something under her breath, and then she just looks up at you and says, "For luck, because you're nice." Good. And then she like, turns around and shuffles back before you can ask any questions.
What the heck?
She kind of mumbles under her breath, "Thank you." She knows that so we couldn't hear her, but she still says,
Oh, that's so sweet.
Okay.
Fate points go
Dragon.
towards your belief and instinct. If you believe that both your fate and instinct, your belief and instinct. If you believe you played on your belief and instinct, you get a fate point for each of them. So, what do you guys think? Were you able to sort of play those on cue? Do you think?
I don't know if I did my instinct. Because I didn't forge in the ordinance, but on my belief, I say all possibilities should be explored for the good of all.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the mouse needs to think with her head and act with her heart in order to succeed. I don't think I did that.
Do you think, well, you didn't have to actually help with Tilly's,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's what I was.
honestly,
So,
it would purely be Pepperjack's call whether she gets promoted or not. You trying to influence that is sort of like where you're going against the grain of things.
It's definitely
Definitely
Yeah,
acting with your
so-
heart.
so I think that'll work then. Okay. Cool. So that's a fate or a persona?
Fate.
Cool.
How about the rest of you? You good with fate for those or?
I know that I played on my instinct. Just investigate anything that looks interesting, because whatever you find might save your neck later. So she definitely did that. But
Yeah.
I think she played against her belief, and I think actually I might change her belief between now and the next time she plays. Because
All right, we're gonna go into that once we get to persona points. But first, let's go to goals. What was everybody's goal this session?
Mine was to. What was it? To protect or keep Pepperjack safe and deliver the mail successfully, which we did. So, is that persona?
Persona point for you.
Good God, I'm hoarding them so much.
Use them.
I know. Well, I didn't get a chance this time.
Gibbs, what was your goal for this session?
my goal was to try and get to know the other guard mouse better, or guard mice better, and she did.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Pepperjack.
Pepperjack's goal was to write that letter to Gwendolyn so that Tilly can become a full guard mouse. And I think
Yeah.
he's done everything he can, and it's out of his hands at this point.
Yeah.
It's true. Tilly.
Okay, so initially, when I wrote my goal down, it was make Pepperjack proud, but as soon as I typed that out, I realized, wait, that's actually kind of vague from the mechanical standpoint.
Mhm.
What specific action would fill that? So instead, I changed it to make yourself useful to Pepperjack, and I do think she did that because she holds down and
Yes.
carried the mail the whole time.
Oh yeah.
You did.
Oh yeah.
And on top of that, you came back with some pivotal information.
Yeah. So I approve.
Let's, yeah, persona points for all of you. What is your belief, Tilly?
My belief currently is the cities get enough help. Somebody's got to look out for the wild mice. And in this session, actually a couple of sessions at this point, now she's actively working against the wild mice because the wild mice want to do something that would screw over the settlements, but would obviously benefit them. And she's like being a spy against them.
That certainly changing your trusts in like your trusts. Your trusts are changing. Who you trust is being called into question. So I feel like that definitely is worth a change of belief that has been challenged. So persona point for you.
Yay.
All right, guys. MVP. Who gets it?
Gibbs. Yes, because you did a lot of the roles tonight, and your Pathfinder was ridiculous.
Pathfinder 5, yo.
Yeah.
I would say Noodle.
She got 6 successes on that roll.
Yeah,
You would
let's
not
Yeah.
be-
let's also
Yeah.
consider Workhorse in this as
Workhorse
well.
too, yeah.
So I think the MVP would be Gibbs because of the fact that she did all those Pathfinder check was ridiculous, and I think Workhorse should go to Tilly because she did all that detective work and followed that guy. Plus, she carried the mail.
Yeah.
Do you mean
A literal workhorse.
Yeah, quite
oh
literally.
gosh.
That's so true, though.
Yeah.
I was the pack mule. Oh gosh.
Gibbs, what do you think?
Well, I was thinking MVP for Noodle because she did find all that information, and she did do a lot of spy work. I didn't really. The only thing I did was the Pathfinder role.
Yeah, but that was just vital to our
Yeah.
mission to different places.
Because the thing with with MVP is that's where there's like a specific thing that your character did that really came in clutch, whereas Workhorse is for like people who made a lot of rolls or like did like a lot of stuff that helped
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mission would have been a lot harder if you guys had failed that Pathfinder check.
Yeah, like I agree. I do think that that Ida or
Yeah.
Idra should get MVP.
Yeah.
All right. Both Tilly and Idra get a persona point. And now I actually read the rules.
I have a new friend.
Oh my god!
Goose Kill 778, thank you for that follow. We're happy to see you here on the forefront. And
Hi.
welcome to the Possum Posse. Hey, let's talk about embodiment, because that is the reward that goes to our players who roleplay. I have read the rule, and apparently I have been operating... Noodle, you're gonna go crazy. I was wrong about embodiment. We have
What?
to we have to vote to see who gets embodiment.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it went to everybody or everybody who roleplayed. Oh man.
No, dude, I just looked at it, and even in the first edition, and apparently we vote for who had the most dramatic moment in the session.
Oh man, that must have been like a really old home rule that we were always playing on.
Yes.
We thought it was the actual rule. Okay, all right.
So I'm not sure if I'm going to implement it because I don't know. I feel like it kind of relies on me to make that drama, and not every character can have drama every episode. So I still want to go ahead, and because I love you guys, and today was an absolute blast. I still want to go ahead, and I want to give you persona point for everybody in the
Yay!
roleplay.
I have so many of those.
They're good to burn.
I have 12 of them.
Burn them. Just next time you gotta make a roll, just dump
For real though, like for real.
You have to use
I got 1 roll tonight. Wait, 2 rolls.
And you
like, oh, Ellie, make a check to use a magnifying glass on this small print. 12 persona.
12 persona.
That's
The
the paper
best
on
magnifying
5.
glass ever.
I want this to happen.
Right? I do actually.
Yeah, make it happen.
Please, please
Well, we want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. We also want to go ahead and just say we have sub bows available for you. Wait, how, is it sub bows? Did I say it incorrectly? Is it sub bow instead? I'm trying to think. That bow.
It's just exclamation point bows.
Bows? No. I think it's also like I have a certain command. Oh wait. Oh no. I edited the sub so that these bows are gonna go away very soon on the 27th.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I kind of want to keep it so that every month when we get new subs, I replace the current bows with the new sub bows, just to sort of like, you know, we want to thank you guys a lot for all the help you guys do for the channel and stuff. I will get Gibbs a penguin bow somehow. I will get that bow.
I'm sure they exist.
Oh.
I'm sure she'll find one for you.
I will make one. If I cannot find one, I will make one.
I will buy a penguin. And I will strap it to my head.
That penguin will be so confused, it's gonna be adorable.
I wonder how the cats will react to it.
They will also be confused, and it will also be adorable.
Stream penguin.
I already found one.
Dream penguin.
Hey!
So
I'm not even kidding you. Hold on, I'm about to post the link in the Zoom.
What, a bow or a penguin?
No, a
Penguin
bow!
bow!
Both.
At the same time.
Boom. Oh crap, that may not work.
I'll invest time into that.
It worked.
We want to encourage you guys, however, watching, to help me help a friend. Unmade Gaming is playing Curse of Strahd right now, and I want you to go ahead and send some love from them, from us on the forefront. Gather up the possum posse.
Possum raid!
Let's do it.
Woohoo!
Here we go. So,
Yeah.
copy paste that /me. Go visit Unmade Gaming. Let them hear how loud we could be. Possums aren't loud. Gosh, I really need to work on that. Anyways, let's have a good evening. Thank you for stopping in. If you want to go ahead and play Mouse Guard, the community is open to new players. Even if you don't know how to play tabletop role-playing games, even if you don't know what this Mouse Guard stuff is, we'd be happy to include you in this wondrous community, because Gibbs, this is your second game. What do you think of the game so far? Speaking as a new player.
I love it. It's so much fun. Because I always just watched it because I never had the time to actually make a character and be able to play. And now that I'm playing, I'm having so much fun and I love it. And I'm ready to play more.
She's like, I want more. I've had the Mouse Guard bug, and now I want more.
I want more.
Well, we'll have more this Thursday. I wish all of you a splendid evening. Go and get that raid going. Give him some love. And I'll see you next time on the forefront.
Bye.
Bye.